Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the road course at Sandy Flats for the second race in the 2020 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series season. It's the second of 20 regular season events to decide the 12 driver playoff grid for the Truck Series drivers in the 2020 season. And on the front row for the race today is Bradley Ream with Henry Sanford to his left side. You will see the odds on the right side and the evens on the left side. Row 2 is RJ Bishop and part-time driver Zachary Fitzwater Sr., who will be running every road course race this season in the Truck Series in this 3 truck. Row 3 is LJ Toledo and the 24 driven by Audra Baranowskis. Row 4, Lucas Catano and Matthew Logan, a pair of rookies. And in row 5, we have Edwin Mendez and Yale Carrillo. Sorry, Yale, for saying your last name wrong at Daytona. I looked back at my document, and it is Carrillo, not Carrillo. So I apologize for that in advance, as these videos are done in advance. So good on me for catching it quick. So we'll just go quickly through the rest of the lineup. If you know what your number is, Nico Tringali in the 54 again this week. Andrew Rich will start 23rd after winning at Daytona. Jean Sanford in the 8 for the first race of her season. Ace Rogers in the 2. And that is your starting grid. We look at the points. There's not much to go over since it was the first race of the year. Your top 5, Andrew Rich, Sam Young, Leland Fief, Jeremiah Duane, and Lucas Catano. And then several part-time drivers, Zach Rogers, Nico Tringali, 6th and 7th, with Cody Rhodes, Carter Friesen, Edwin Mendez, Henry Sanford, and Jeff Toledo rounding out the top 12. We'll see who truly has some speed here in 2020 for the Truck Series, as we're at a road course where skill will be more important than drafting. Let's go trackside for the command to fire engines. As the command has been given, Pace Truck will fly away. It's a 5.9 mile road course, 21 turns on the circuit. As per usual with my series on this channel, no caution flags on road course tracks. That's a rule also used at tracks under a mile in length. So all short tracks you will see racing just like this. It's green flag to checkered flag action no matter what happens on the racetrack. We usually have some pretty clean road course races. Will these drivers provide the same here today at Sandy Flats? 14 laps of action. Takes roughly 3 minutes and 5 seconds to get around here one time. We're expecting at least one pit stop, if not 2. Green flag's out and we're underway as we're getting already 3 wide action down into turn 1 as RJ Bishop's looking for the lead on Bradley Ream. And this is the kind of racing we'll expect to see from the Cup drivers tomorrow. Fitzwater going a little wide. They're going to come out of turn 5 here onto the kink straight. And there's that kink right there. This is one of the high-speed sections on the racetrack. As you see Ream approaching 163 miles per hour as he hits the braking zone. So make their way through these corners. A lot of elevation changes there. You see one right there. And look at all the 3 wide action in the pack. So far, Ream in control, Bishop in second, Henry Sanford third, and Fitzwater Sr. in fourth. That's the top 4 single file line. And they'll come off turn 12 for the chute. I believe this is 12 there or here. But 5.9 mile racetrack. The longest track on the schedule this year. St. Joltis has been known to be the longest at 4.92 miles, but Sandy Flats will take that crown this year. And if the racing provided is good enough, we could see it return. As you can see, it takes so long to get around this racetrack. We're still on the first lap. As drivers should have their tires heated up by now. Bishop going a little wide through the middle of that corner. And that time it was Ream who chose to go wide. At the front of the field, single file action. Let's see what Daytona race winner Andrew Rich is up to after starting in 23rd. As he battles side by side with Logan Gentry for a position. There's Jeremiah Dwayne right behind the 23. Dwayne was the favorite at Daytona once we got about 3/4 of the way through the race. As here we come through the final corner onto the front straightaway one last time. As these drivers will complete the first lap on the day. As you see, closing in on 170 into turn 1. And Andrew Rich falling backwards down to 29th after starting in 23rd. So things not going well for the 23 car. And next lap we should get a better idea who's the fastest. As being in the pack, you have to hit the brakes a lot more than you would like to. But as you can see, after just one lap, a 12-second spread from the leader to last place. As Rich continues to battle next to Jeremiah Dwayne to hold on to 29th. As he's looking to clear the 92 off the corner, he will do so. And Rich will hold on to 29th for now. Jean Sanford in her first Truck Series start, currently running in 25th. Not showing the immediate success Henry Sanford did last year, but of course the second race of the season last year was at Atlanta. A road course track, definitely a lot more difficult to prove yourself at for your first race, but running 25th is still better than running 35th, and for that matter, running last. As we go up through the running order, there's your 2019 champion Logan York. DNF that Daytona, finished last, but it's a long way to go to the playoffs compared to last season, so Logan with plenty of time. Last year it was 10 races to the playoffs. This year it's 20, so plenty of extra time for Logan York to return to dominating form as he moves to the left side of Casey Nanako for 20th place. In front of him, Benjamin Ice and James Ellison fight for 18th. Remember, Ice was one of the better drivers who ran part-time in the 25 truck last season, moving to a full-time effort this year in the 78 truck. James Ellison drove what was his best year in the 20 truck. His total points accumulation ranked at 5th on the board, I believe. But as far as the standings were concerned, he officially finished in 12th as he failed to make the playoffs. That due to all the winners, as man, it's only lap 2 and we've already got pit stops. So I'm not sure how much fuel these trucks are using, but already 2 laps in and pit stops on the racetrack. Kind of unexpected. One of those trucks was Nico Tringali. Edwin Mendez is down as well. There's actually a lot of trucks down pit road. And it is a 4-tire stop. This is mostly the back end of the field that have elected to come down pit road. So a strategy race unfolding here at Sandy Flats. Keith Rich in the top 10, Michael Markle 9th, Audra Baranauskas 8th, Matthew Logan 7th, LJ Toledo running in 6th. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. down to 5th. He's been passed by the 9 of Lucas Catano, who has the fastest lap on the racetrack. Could this be where Catano gets his first career win in the Truck Series? He still has to catch Henry Sanford, RJ Bishop, and rookie Bradley Ream, who leads this race. As pit strategy in play. Do I think these trucks will be pitting every 2 laps? No, I think it's a strategy gamble. When you're that far at the back of the field, when you pit with no trucks in front of you, it's a lot easier to dive it into pit road. Also trying to perform some sort of undercut. Those drivers are. I was not expecting trucks to pit after just 2 laps. We've run races at Road America in the past where that's a 4-mile track and the pit window there is usually 9 laps or 7 laps, I believe. So pitting after 2 laps seems a bit early. You know, it's only 11.8 miles on the gas tank, and it is set to 2x. Now, if it was set to 4x, then I wouldn't be surprised. But Bradley Ream in the lead. We're going to wait and see if anyone comes down pit road coming to lap 4. As Lucas Catano continues to drive towards the race leader, as Bishop, Sanford, Catano, they're all coming down. Fitzwater and some others are going to stay out. So an incredible split pit strategy here today. It looks like it could be a heck of a strategy race. But Bradley Ream in the lead. As more drivers elect to come down pit road, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back by the completion of this lap. Bradley Ream still in control as the lap has yet to be completed. And we'll get a good idea of what the strategy is and how the undercut plans to work. From what I saw off coverage, cold tires is really bad. James Ellison almost drove through the 78 of Benjamin Ice. And as you can see in the top right, Ream's second lap to third lap, the fall off was 1.8 seconds. So drivers, I believe, are pitting more for tire wear than anything. As it looks like the rest of the field will pit here. No, Michael Marco will stay out another lap. But everyone else is going to come into pit road. As you see, RJ Bishop currently leading the group of drivers who have pit. Lucas Catano has hopped Henry Sanford in the pits. So Greg Torres and Ellison are flying up through the field with their fresh rubber. So Michael Markle will be the first to lead a lap other than pole sitter Bradley Ream, as we'll watch from this camera angle. There comes RJ Bishop, and there goes Bradley Ream out of pit road. Fitzwater was running 5th on the racetrack before he came to pit. And now he runs 2nd behind Ream. But Bishop is 3rd. Katana will drive by Matthew Logan for 4th. And now we'll get a good idea of what these cold tires produce, as we'll go on board with RJ Bishop to see if he can catch up to Bradley Ream. As he clears the 3 truck of Fitzwater for actually what is currently 3rd place. As Katana will look to close in on Fitzwater for 4th. But you can see the difference right here, 146 to 148 between Ream and Bishop. If it comes down to fuel, it appears, you know, I think this is going to be pitting every 4 laps. But if it comes down to fuel, I think Markle will have an advantage. But as you can see, cold tires is not fun, as Bishop is right to the bumper of Ream. And he'll get on his left side and pass him for the lead as Katano himself closes the distance. So for the time being, Bishop to the point. As you see Michael Markle in the race lead, and just look at this at the back of the field: Sam Young, Hilary Sanchez, Cole Baker, Leland Fief, and Peter Onjak. There's all these drivers who stayed out a long time dealing with the bane of cold rubber, but once that rubber kicks in, they will fly. As you see, Michael Markle with his worn tires is running a 309. That is terrible speed, but Markle will come to pit road here. Coming to lap 6, Bishop to 2nd, Katano past Ream into 3rd. So at the time being, staying out longer seems to be hurting them more. But we'll have to wait to see for sure. Fitzwater continuing to lose positions. There goes another one to LJ Toledo, and following through will be Henry Sanford. Remember, Fitzwater is just here to gain experience and win some races. He is not running for a championship in the Truck Series. And currently he is the highest running of the part-time efforts. So Bishop will come down the front straightaway. There goes Markle out of his pit stall. Bishop will cross the line in 2nd, but officially he will take the race lead. And let's just talk briefly about Bishop's career in the Truck Series. In 2018, he only had 2 top 10s, an average finish of 28th, and he finished 40th, last place in the points. But last year he got better. 20th place average finish. Still only 2 top 10s, but he ended up being 23rd in the points. So things were looking up for Bishop, and this could be it. Depending how the rest of this race goes, we could see Bishop in victory lane. And it looks like a few stragglers from the group that pit on lap 2 came to pit on lap 6. So it is indeed a every 4 laps trend, or every 3 to 4 laps trend. That's Ibrahimium, Elijah Gordon, Cody Rhodes, and Sam Young, along with Peter Onjak, who all came to pit road. But meanwhile, at the front of the field, it's Bishop in the lead, Katano in 2nd. Ream has gotten his tires heated up. He's in 3rd. Toledo 4th. Sanford 5th. And Fitzwater 6th. For those of you who don't remember, I forgot to mention it at Daytona, but this is the way the points format works. If you win the race, you get 55 points. Leading the laps, 1 bonus point. Leading the most is another bonus point. First place position as on its own rather, is 55. Second is 50. Third is 46. Fourth is 43. And fifth is 40. Then it's a 2-point drop to sixth. Sixth to 10th separated by a point each, and then another 2-point drop from 10th to 11th. 11th to last drops down to 1 point for 42nd place. And that's the way the points format was last year, and it's the way it's going to be again this year. Bishop continuing the lead. Can't really tell right now if Catano is closing the distance or not. Based on the lap times he is, I still believe Catano has the fastest truck on the track. But it's going to be a matter of if he can catch Bishop. Whoops. As we look to see who the highest running driver is that will come in the pit road this time by. As Ellison's tires are starting to tank, you can see he's fallen back from 9th at the line. But Ellison doing pretty good, as there goes Jean Sanford. She's coming down pit road. So you see they get in the pit lane well before the actual pit line. Edwin Mendez behind the 8 machine. Logan York, your 2019 champ. Cole Baker, they're coming in. So right now, Torres, highest running of drivers who have already pit again. And Torres was running, I believe, in the top 20. So we'll see how this undercut works for him, as these drivers likely have to pit one more time and leave it at one more time. But it's seemingly working out for Torres as he'll pass by Gene Sanford. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back for the remainder of the second race in the 2020 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series. We're back here at the Sandy Flats Road Course, pitting from 19th. Priya McShane, dual rookie in both the Truck Series and the Cup Series. And she is the first to pit, coming to lap 8. Nico Tringali, one of the part-time drivers, splitting time in the 54 with Nate Rogers, teammate at Team Audi Red Bull in the Cup Series. He comes to pit road. Jeremiah Dwayne in as well. Leland Fief. Those are the only ones to pit coming to lap 8. And the longer they stay out, the longer Greg Torres gets this nice undercut. And Torres must be loving it right now, as he'll gain more positions here that should put him back in the top 30. But meanwhile, most of the pack still yet to pit. 28 trucks in total. Ellison has now fallen from 10th. Michael Markle, remember, stayed out the longest, charging his way towards the top 10. He'll have to pass Yale Carrillo in the 18 truck to get to 10th. Donovan Cage on really old tires. Baran Oscus just ran her fastest lap of the race, running in 7th place. As Bradley Ream is getting anxious behind Lucas Catano as they continue to catch RJ Bishop. Remember, Ream and Fitzwater pit a lap later than those guys, and Ream's going to shove his nose to the right side of Catano, but he can't quite get the run or the grip to make a move. And this is the kind of stuff you want when you're undercutting, is you want to make it as difficult as you can for the guy behind you to pass you, because that is time he loses as an opportunity to gain back everything he lost when you undercut him by pitting a lap early. As Fitzwater will work his way around Henry Sanford for 5th place. But this pack is slowly closing in on race leader RJ Bishop. As we've seen, the strategy split has amplified from the first set of stops to this one, as some drivers saw what Michael Markle did, and I believe this is an attempt to stretch it to where they pit next and they don't pit again. It would be 6 to go at the line, something I believe they can stretch out. But right now it looks like 6 trucks in the running for this W. And here it is coming into lap 8. Bishop will pit. Ream is actually going to pit with them. Fitzwater is the only one to stay out. So hurting his chances of an overcut is Bradley Ream electing to pit this time by with Bishop and the others, or perhaps this was the strategy the entire time. Henry Sanford in behind LJ Toledo. Donovan Cage, Yale Carrillo, they're coming into pit road. James Ellison, Colt Hudson, Jesse Turner, Dylan Thomas, Carter Friesen, Adam Flickinger, Ace Rogers, Andrew Rich, Ice, Anderson, Jeff Toledo, Nanako, and Hillary Sanchez will all come down pit road. And Greg Torres, who was undercutting them, is going to pit this time as well, and this, I believe, is because he is short on fuel. And that is going to really hurt him. As you see, more drivers that waited on the pit stops have been hurt tremendously from the amount of tire wear on this road course. So Fitzwater stays out, he leads. Ranoskis is in second, Logan is in third, and Michael Markle is in fourth. Keith Rich fifth, Toby McCoy sixth, Logan Gentry in seventh, Jeff James in eighth. As Bishop is the first one out, Catano behind him, and Gene Sanford, who undercut a long time ago, is right behind them. So those warmer tires will help her out for now, but Bradley Ream losing time again on pit road. This time Toledo getting past him, but he's going to try and fight Toledo as they both warm up their final set of tires. Well, what is believed to be their final set of tires. But Ream trying to get by. Delon Ibrahimian has made it all the way up here as well, so the undercut has really worked out well for them, but big question going to be is, can they make it from their pit stop? 8 laps, 9 laps, that's a long time to go on a gas tank here at this racetrack. So we'll see if they end up pitting or not, but for the time being, they're going to hurt the front runners as Gene Sanford passes Lucas Catano. And now back up to Fitzwater. As far as I've seen, we've had 0 incidents on the racetrack today. So who will pit first? Will anyone else try and stretch it? That's the real big question. Remember the prediction, veterans are going to win half the schedule. That's a total of 14 races because it's a 27 race season. Andrew Rich, technically a truck rookie, won at Daytona. Who will win today? As Michael Markle will come down this time by. But Logan Gentry will not. He's going to stretch it. As Gene Sanford is in the potential race leading position here after running at the middle of the pack earlier today. Gene Sanford has undercut the field tremendously, and she is 8th on the timesheet. But this is ultimately the battle to watch here. RJ Bishop and rookie Lucas Catano, as Gene Sanford has to pit, as expected cannot make it from that lap 6 pit stop. But some front running time for Gene Sanford nonetheless. As we'll see where RJ Bishop comes out in regards to these drivers. There's Baranauskas, and there is Fitzwater. Bishop and Catano will fly by the 24 with ease as they catch Fitzwater Sr. for what is the race lead. Or what will become the race lead, I should say. as Logan Gentry has yet to come down the pit road. '97 truck made the Final Four with Larry Hagan in 2019, despite not winning the race, and this truck accrued the most points on the season in total. Will Gentry be able to give this team the season they had last year with Hagan? That's the question right now for this '97 truck. Gentry ended up finishing in 19th last week at Daytona, and we'll have to see where this strategy lands him on the board today. As you see, Bishop past Fitzwater, but Catano having a bit of a difficult time, but he gets by the 3 in the end. James Ellison has made it up here. He's the 5th one on track behind these drivers. Can he make it to the end on fuel? Ellison made the switch to the Junior Motorsports Development Team in hopes of improving his skill in his 3rd full-time season in the Truck Series. Could we see a jump to Cup from Ellison in 2021? Other drivers have made the jump this year after just 1 season, after 2 seasons. What will Ellison do? In the same class as drivers like Baran Oscus, Jesse Turner, who made the jump to Cup this year, and Ellison making a move on Fitzwater for position. Ellison teammates with full-time rookie Lucas Catano. And Ellison now technically 3rd on the track as Gentry hits pit road. Could you do a 2-tire strategy stop here? I don't think it would be worth it. And they will take 4. Ellison will remain on the track, still unsure if he can make it on fuel, but he will be running in 3rd place as we officially have 4 laps to go on the racetrack, and the battle is on between RJ Bishop and Lucas Catano. Ellison 3rd, Fitzwater in 4th, and Baran Oscus rounds out the top 5. LJ Toledo in 6th. Bradley Ream has now fallen to 7th. Colt Hudson 8th. Henry Sanford 9th. And Jesse Turner, I believe, is in 10th. As everyone has completed their stops, you see all the differing strategies have helped and hurt some drivers. An extra stop definitely hurts you here. We'll see how much time they gain in these final 4 laps. If the leaders themselves can make it or not. If these leaders can't make it, you would take fuel only, theoretically fuel only and no tires, and that would still hurt you. Because when the leaders came out, Gene Sanford was leading them. Bishop already 3.2 seconds off his best lap. Have we seen the end of pit stops? Is it a guaranteed 3-stop race? We know they can stretch it to 5, maybe 6 laps. But is that what they're going to do? Bishop continuing to lead as Lucas Catano is trying to hunt him down for that first career win. Catano with a top 5 and 2 top 10s in 5 races last year, with an average finish of 15th and an average starting position of 10th. His teammate Benjamin Ice teammate last year, rival this year. Ice had 3 top 5s and 3 top 10s with an average finish of 13th. But Ice currently is nowhere near the top 10. As last time on the scoring, Ice was 25th. So Catano really working hard to try and close in on RJ Bishop, who's in his 3rd season, looking for that first win. As we fly by pit road, none of the top 6 will hit it. Ream has made his way back into 7th. So we'll have to wait and see if anyone has to pit again. There's Gentry running in what I believe is 18th. And Gentry does have the freshest tires on the track, so we'll see how well he uses them. And indeed, Gentry 18th on the board. Ace Rogers up to 16th place. There's Keith Rich in his 4th Truck Series season, running 17th. Michael Markle trying to make the move on Hudson for 10th. Decent amount of veterans in this top 10, but there are rookies up here as well. And Ellison has not gone anywhere despite having older tires. And he continues to close up. Ellison looking for what would be his first career victory. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. trying to trying to log his career in the Truck Series. He ran full-time in 2017 and 2018. In 2018 was the year he got his lone victory and finished 12th in the points standings. So we'll see if Fitzwater has what it takes to get that second career victory. This time as a part-time driver, because he is closing up on James Ellison for 3rd. And Ellison will move out of the way. And Fitzwater is on the move to 3rd place. But Ellison fights back. But it's not going to really do anything there. Fitzwater to 3rd. Can he get it done? And man, this race has taken a long time. The Cup race, I believe, will be 6 laps longer. I'm not sure. This 21 turn, 5.9 mile road course takes quite a bit. As there's the move by Fitzwater for 2nd. As Baran-Oscus herself closing in on Ellison. It could come down to the 3 and the 24. They were the last 2 front runners to pit. But what if it comes down to fuel? It take, 6 miles. 6 miles of fuel here. You need it. We might see people pit coming to the white flag. It might just happen. There's pit road. No one up here is going to come down. As we check out the rest of the current top 10. Nothing going on back here either. As Gentry has already made his way up to 14th. Battle rages on as Fitzwater is getting the draft push from Ellison past Lucas Catano. 2 laps to go and a second faster that time by. Baran-Oscus ran an even faster time than Fitzwater. But she has to get by the 9 and the 48 if she wants to even challenge him. And she better do it fast, because if Fitzwater gets by Bishop, it could be game over if she is still stuck behind him. Inside the cockpit of Zachary Fitzwater Sr. down the Kink Straight. And look at the distance closed in. In his mirror, you can see Baran-Oscus passing James Ellison. As strategy has really come out here at Sandy Flats. Fitzwater is all over the bumper of Bishop. Ooh, he's peeking the nose. Fitzwater knows it too. If he doesn't get by Bishop before Baran-Auskas catches up to him, it could make things a lot trickier. As Fitzwater looks to make the longer route around the 98, trying to maybe get a run somewhere. He got one there, but not the angle for that right-hander he wanted. That's going to cost him about a car length, or in this case, a truck length. Still over 6 miles to go for Fitzwater and RJ Bishop. And the big question now would be, do these trucks have the fuel to make it one more lap? As Andrew Rich is on pit road, I'm not sure if there's an issue with him or if he just could not make it on fuel. So potentially some drivers who can't make it on gas. Fitzwater still all over Bishop's bumper. And here comes Baran-Auskas. Don't look now, to the right side of Catano was Audra Baran-Auskas. She clears him, or she's going to try to clear him. And there's the move by Fitzwater. He sees her coming behind him. To the right side of Bishop he goes. And here comes Baran-Auskas with a head of steam after passing Catano. But Fitzwater will clear RJ Bishop coming to the final corner. And no one up here is going to pit. And the white flag will be out for Zachary Fitzwater Sr. One more time around this 5.9 mile racetrack. And he ran a faster lap that time than Baran-Auskas. She still has to get by Bishop and make it quick too. Bradley Ream in 6th, Henry Sanford 7th, Michael Markle 8th, LJ Toledo 9th, and Matthew Logan is your top 10 at the white flag. Gentry has made it up to 12th place with his tires. Let's go back and take a quick look at the 97. You know it takes such a long time to get around here as is, and he is still eating up positions. He's by Jesse Turner for 11th, and he'll challenge Toledo for what will be 10th. Matthew Logan on the move. He's up to 9th as Michael Marco looks to take 7th away from Henry Sanford. Meanwhile, Ream all alone in 6th. Marco will get by the 87. Logan's looking to follow as Logan Gentry is looking at what would be his first career top 10 finish. Gentry is just on the money right now. Just look at how much more he can break into the corner and grip it through the middle, right on the bumper of Henry Sanford for what is 9th place. And we'll see at the official finishing results if he gets there. I believe Markle and Logan are catching Bradley Ream here, potentially as well, as there goes Gentry right on by Henry Sanford for 9th. Back to the front of the field, Ellison and Catano have fallen way back, and Baran-Auskas has not been able to get by RJ Bishop. And Fitzwater has a very comfortable lead now. Now it's all about the fuel. This is the longest we've seen these drivers go today. Does he have the fuel to make it to the end? He and Baran-Auskas did pit on the same lap. So now this is really down to Baran-Auskas getting another 4 points towards her season total. If she can get by Bishop, that's 4 points for her and 4 points less for him. But Fitzwater played the strategy game correctly today. It looked like Bradley Ream had the truck to beat. maybe even Lucas Catano, but the strategy was played wrong. And for the first time in 2020, a veteran will win in the NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series, and a part-time driver at that, Fitzwater, is running all these road course races, and he just laid down his dominance here at Sandy Flats. He wins the second race in the 2020 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series, and that win is going to change the outlook of the playoffs as a non-eligible driver wins one of the 20 races. And that will put a little extra stress on being consistent. Baran Oskus gets it done. She'll get by Bishop for second place. Another 4 points for her on the day. Bishop will finish third, Catano fourth, James Ellison fifth. Great runs there for both of them. Bradley Ream from starting on the pole leading the first couple of laps. He'll get sixth. Michael Markle strategizing his way up to seventh. Matthew Logan eighth. Logan Gentry in ninth. And Henry Sanford will round out the top 10. Man, this 14-lap race took 52 minutes in total. If you cut away the 5-minute buildup and the minute or so pace lap, it was more about 47 minutes. But a long race nonetheless. A few highlights outside the top 10. Keith Rich in 12th. Part-time driver Ace Rogers getting 18th. Benjamin Ice 25th. Gene Sanford we saw leading at one point. One of the drivers with those extra pit stops. You can see it cost her 27th place. Same with Greg Torres down in 28th. Still waiting for results to be official. Defending champ Logan York, another bad race in 37th. And I believe Andrew Rich and Donovan Cage had to pit a fourth time as they are over 2 minutes back. And we're just waiting on the 6 of Cage to cross the start-finish line before ending our coverage so the results become official. It was a clear sunny day, 51 degrees with mostly to the west wind, and there it is. Results official here today at the Sandy Flats. I will see you guys tomorrow for the Cup Series race. Likely the same distance, if not maybe a few extra laps. But other than that, won't be much longer than this. This was quite the endurance, even for myself. It went a lot longer than I expected. But the strategy play was amazing, and I can't wait to see what the Cup drivers do tomorrow for the second race of the 2020 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series season. This has been the second race of the 2020 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series. Here come your official race results, followed by your point standings for the first time of the year.